Welcome to the Pit to Peak podcast. This is your host, Trevor J. White, and today's topic is this gratitude. How do you show it? Sit back and relax, and welcome to the show. All right, gratitude. So, about a week ago, it's probably more than that. Couple weeks ago, it's been the past couple weeks, my wife and I have gone to war. We have gone to war. Now, the war was not with each other. The war was actually with our daughter. I've got a absolute firecracker, 12-year-old, turns 13 in like 3 weeks, I don't know. No, I guess it's the 21st, so about a month. We got a month. That's crazy. She can be 13. She's going to be 13 years old. So in 1 month, I'm going to have a teenager at home. I already have a 21-year-old son, but I'm going to have a teenage girl. I have a feeling this is going to be dramatically different because it's already been dramatically different. Number one, she clearly loves me, but it's not like daddy's little girl. Mom's got this one, right? Her and my wife and my little girl are like BFFs. They're like the friends of all, but now she's turning teenager. I'm going to have to deal with the whole dating thing, which I literally kept a hold of my AR-15 just for this purpose. But there was a problem. I left my AR on the mainland. I didn't bring any of my guns with me here to Hawaii because I was like, the odds of me having to protect myself from any situation in Hawaii is probably very slim, and getting guns over here is actually very challenging because it's a very, very liberal place. So anyhow, point being, I don't have a gun to scare any boys who try to date my daughter. So I'm going to have to go buy a gun literally for that purpose. I don't even need to buy bullets for it. I just need the gun because I always want to do the gun thing. I wanted to do some jokes about prison and stuff like that, have some of my rougher friends come over and all tatted up and just scare the guy when he shows up, doing the whole prison gag thing. But I don't have any tatted up friends here on the island like that. So this is going to be different. But anyhow, I digress. But anyhow, they're inseparable. They're amazing. And my wife and I went to war, but it was between my wife and I and my little girl. Now, you might be asking, why would you go to war with your little girl? Here's how it's been going down. My little girl is kind of good, bad, judge me, hate me, don't care. She has been given a lot, right? And a lot of what she experienced in life it's that same adage, right? I grew up with nothing. So then I look at my little girl and I want her to have more. So I'm going to give her the life that I didn't have, right? So she ends up with these things, and we have the financial means to be able to purchase these things and give her these experiences and all of this. And then all of a sudden, what we noticed happening was she started expecting things. Right? She started becoming very, very entitled, and it was she's just going to get these things. And I'm like, this isn't going to work for us in this frame because, no. All of a sudden, I want to stop doing things for her, and I'm just like, you know what? You're entitled, and we're going to take all these things away from you, and we're going to stop doing the things that you expect because it's the hardest thing to even say thank you or be grateful for it or anything like that. And so we've noticed this pattern starting, and then we start to try to correct her. We try to correct her, and then it literally just turns into a war. And that was fine because my wife and I declared the war. We were we are going to work, somehow get this to shift so that she can start showing gratitude, because nobody in this planet likes somebody who's entitled, who walks around acting like the world owes it something. That mentality is ridiculous. It's where you have no idea how to work for anything. You know how to do any of that stuff. So, and I've created opportunities for my little girl to earn money, and she's doing that, which is awesome. I'm proud of her for that. But it's just the bigger stuff, right? It's the things that she's entitled about, all this stuff. So anyhow, it's been pretty heated too. A lot of tears shed as we point out some pretty hard truths to her in the reality of our life and what we have that is different than what I grew up with and what a lot of other children have the opportunity to have. So it's a different kind of problem, right, that I'm facing than my parents faced. See, my parents, I learned a really good work ethic because my parents had no choice. They couldn't buy me anything. We got $20 for school clothes each year. That was for shoes, underwear, socks, any clothes, right? I was just fortunate and lucky enough to have an older brother. So, I would sometimes get his hand-me-downs that weren't totally worn out, but we had nothing. So if I wanted clothes, especially as I got into high school, I had to get a job and I had to earn the money. I had to figure out a way to earn the money. And I actually started doing that at a much younger age because I realized the bike I wanted, my parents were never going to be able to buy it for me. I was a skateboard I wanted, parents were never going to be able to buy it for me. So I actually got paper out when I was 7 years old. 7 years old, I had a paper out, and I also, and that may sound outlandish, it almost does when I say it. I used to think I was 10, but my mom actually corrected me, and she's like, nope, you did this when you were 7. So I was 7 years old with the paper out and 7 years old mowing lawns, right? So this was like this young, because I wanted stuff. The big thing I wanted when I was a little kid was trading cards, right? And they were probably $2 or $3 for a pack, maybe $1 for a pack. I don't remember how much they were, right? But that was, I had, and I remember my mom saying something to me. I still remember this when I was a little kid, but her saying to me that I had more money than she did. And I was like, yeah, right. That doesn't even make sense, right? But as a parent looking back, knowing their situation, I did have more money than they did. I had more spendable money, right? There was always, we were penny pitching every single thing. So I didn't have much. So I've given my little girl this much, but one thing it taught me was how to work hard. And that's one lesson that I feel like I'm not doing the greatest at with my little girl, and that's what we started to see. And so hence the reason for this course correction and all of this. So here's what's wild. As soon as my wife and I started to put intention into this, and we started to actually focus on it, and we stopped allowing things to just go. We stopped just doing things, right? If she didn't use her manners, if she didn't work for it, if she didn't, we stopped enabling her, I guess would be the right way to put it. And then we started challenging the way she would do things. Like we just wouldn't let her be entitled and not have a consequence of some sort from it. And usually it was just a discussion, or we just didn't do the thing, or she didn't get the thing. And what I would tell you is what I've noticed over the last week is a dramatic shift in her. Right, it's been awesome to watch, and it's so crazy what the shift that her having that shift, and then what that shift has then done for me and for my wife. Because now all of a sudden, she shows gratitude. We want to do more for her. She shows gratitude, then we're happy to help. She shows gratitude, then we have no problem setting her up and putting her in these positions because she's grateful for it, and she doesn't just expect things to happen. Right, she just doesn't expect for this to just be her thing. And so it was actually, it was very cool to watch how quickly she's adjusted. Now, I'm also very aware she has just started to make these adjustments, and if Danielle and I don't stay on it, this won't stay. Right, it's very easy just to go back, and she ends up becoming that other side of it. But when I really look at all of this, there's several things I kind of take away from this. Number one, it can't be lazy. You can't be a lazy parent. Right? You can't be lazy. I don't care if your business is just starting out and you are a brand new entrepreneur and you're stressed out and you got all these things going on. There is a level of intention that has to exist. You can't be a lazy parent. And that really brings up the second side, is the intention. Right? The intention that you have behind it, and the things that you're willing to tolerate, not willing to tolerate. Right? As a parent, there's things that you want for your children. You obviously want them to have the best. You want them to be the best. You want them to have the best life. And a lot of it, especially when it comes to finances, you want them to have things that you didn't have. Right? And I have found that the best possible way for my children to learn their lessons is to make sure I'm living the lesson. Right? If I don't show gratitude, how on earth can I expect her to? If I'm unwilling to work hard, how can I expect her to? Right? If I'm not willing to do it, if I'm not going to take care of my body, how can I expect her to? Right? We did a big shift. Both my wife and I we signed up for a fitness competition on April 27th. And so excited about that. We both hired coaches. We got these freaking elite coaches that we've hired. Everything from meal plans to everything from flexing, posing, everything. Like, it's gonna handle the whole thing. So we're like in this route to do this thing, and it's changed our diet up at the house. And Lyric has noticed a difference too. And she's like, oh wow, I actually, like, she's a real thin girl, but she's like, oh, I feel better, and like, I like it. And she's an athlete. She's a competitive dancer. And so in that dancing space, like, there's just as a parent, you have the stewardship to lead by example. And when you notice your children or the people that you lead who are off base, or they need to be course corrected, or they're not quite where they need to be, like, it's your job and responsibility to do something about it. And this hence comes into the don't be lazy. Right? Because there's lazy parenting, there's lazy marketing, there's lazy conversations, there's lazy leadership, right? There's laziness with the body, there's laziness in your relationship, or casualness in your relationship with God. Like, all of this has to come down to the intention that you actually have to ultimately go after what is it that you really want, right? What is it that you really want? And that's a tough one to answer for some people, because you've never gone down that road, you've never established, you've never experienced it. Like, what is it? Right? And if you don't know what you want, it's real hard to live life, in my opinion. Right? This is where you will just settle in and sedate, and what you quote don't want is just for the weekend to be here, so that you can disconnect and unplug from the shitty job that you hate and the life that you really don't enjoy, so that you can a lot of times just drink your weekend away so that you don't have to experience the weekend, and then you're like back in the, your Monday, it all starts over again. And it's like Groundhog's Day over and over and over again with no growth and expansion. Sounds like suicide watch to me. But take a look at your world. Take a look at your world across body, being, balance, and business. Where in your world do you need to set better intention? Right? Do you need to set better intention? Right? And look at the way you're showing up. Are you expecting something from other people that you are unwilling to do yourself? Are you telling your kids or your friends or your spouse to go be fit, go be elite, go do whatever, and inside the body, and you're sitting on the couch eating donuts and ho-hos? Right? Where is it that you're telling somebody else that here's the things that they should do in their marketing plan inside their business, and you're sitting around just in literally not doing anything? Like not sending the emails, not making the phone calls, not doing the things that you know you need to do. Where's that at? Find that thing for you and do something about it today. Take action on it today. If you can do that, you can win. If you can do that, then you will win. If not, you live a life of sedation. You live a life that's just not on intention. If you're not living on intention, you're living on accident. Right? And a life on accident, it just depends which way the wind blows. And you'll end up with whatever result you will, and you'll sit there and wonder, how did that happen? And you'll be the victim to the whole entire circumstance. So figure that out. Do something about it today. That's all I got for you today. This is your boy, Trevor J. White, reminding you that the power's in the pivot, and you're only one pivot away.